Welcome to episode 69 of the Epilogue Lady. My name is Bente and I'm coming to you from Vesterålen, northern Norway, where I live with my husband and 3 cats. You can find me on Instagram as Arctic Crafts, on Facebook and Etsy as Arctic Crafts by Bente, and on Ravelry as Arctic Crafts 65. Welcome to those of you who are new here, and a welcome back to those who still comes back to this craziness. It's a snowy day today, and I didn't like it beginning to snow again because we had some mild weather, actually a storm with rain, so almost all the snow disappeared and now it's back. Did I mention I am not too keen on snow? I haven't been able to go running for ages because it's been stormy, it's been snowing, and I feel like at least I should be going for a walk, and I feel a bit guilty about me not doing any exercise, but I'll live. I have been taking care of me lately, and I think I needed it. But let's get on with the knitting. And if you suddenly see something behind me here, a black cat, it's Severus Snape. He's trying to be involved, as usual. Hubby's home today, by the way, so he's been exiled to the bedroom. So he's working from home, and he can do that there as well. I still feel weird doing this when he's present. He might show up at some point in an episode of Bente's Bag of Holding, but we haven't figured out anything that's where it's natural for him to join me, but sooner or later. And let's get on with the knitting. I'm wearing a So Faded by Andrea Mowry. That's been knit. I can show you the sleeves to show you all the colors. The yarn is from Dina's Home of Crafts, and it's her Sunset Gradient. There were 5 different colors in the gradient, but I opted for the lightest, the darkest, and the one in the middle. And we bought this yarn at Spring Into Wool when we were in the UK for, I think it was the Easter of 2019 or something. We went to England, and we went to Spring Into Wool, as I said. It's close to Leeds, if I'm not mistaken. Hopefully that wasn't wrong. It's been a while. So that's what I'm wearing, and I actually have a few epaulettes for you, 2 garments. One of them I was wearing in my Bente's Bag of Holding episode. That's called Sweater Parade 2021. So if you haven't seen that episode, feel free to check it out, because I was wearing this sweater in that episode. I'm not wearing it today because I wanted to show you all the colors properly. I knit this in my advent calendar for Beehive Yarns, Cozy and Warm, and I ended up using the wrong size needle because I misread the instructions for gauge. So I knit the entire thing in the gauge I was supposed to knit the ribbing in. So it's fitted. It's not negative ease. It's, I think, 1/2 inch or 1 inch of positive ease in the body and 0 ease in the sleeves. And I really like it. I've been wearing it a lot. And as I said, if you watch the Sweater Parade on Bente's Bag of Holding, you get to see what it looks like on. And I have picked out yarn for a 2nd stripes. I'm going to knit in 3 different colors and just repeat the stripes. And I'll knit that in 1 size bigger needle. this is knit on a 3.25 needle, and I'm going to knit the next one 3.5 millimeter needles, just so I have one with a looser fit as well. So that's the stripes by Andrea Mowry. And then I finally finished one of my hibernating whips, and it's the Caramel Cardigan by Isabel Kraemer. This is a free pattern, and the reason why it's a free pattern is that it's not size inclusive. I think the biggest size now fits me. It didn't fit me when I started the cardigan, but this is an open front cardigan, and it wraps around at the front. And I've knit this in My Grey Polldale undyed and Diablo Wild print from Hobby, again with the Hobby yarn. I'm linking their international website down below. And I've worn this cardigan a bit. Problem is mohair is a bit prickly on me, so I can actually feel this through a long sleeve t-shirt. So I'm not sure how much I'm going to wear it. Perhaps I'll gift it to somebody that isn't as sensitive to mohair as I am. We'll see. But I think it's really pretty, but this yarn fortunately was budget friendly, because I'm not sure I can use it for anything else because it's this prickly. And mohair, I can't use it for socks, can I? Can I knit a pair of socks, DK socks, in this combination? Maybe I should try. I don't think my feet will react to this mohair. We'll see. I know I can't knit a hat or a shawl or anything with it, because that's really the forehead and around the neck, really sensitive areas. So I think that cardigan is going to be gifted to someone. And my next FO I'm going to show you is a really quick knit. I'm not sure you remember, but I told you about a sweater I knit. That was also after Spring into Wool, because at the same yarn show I bought a set of 5 gradients from pink to purple from the Knitting Swede, and I knit on the beach, short sleeve on the beach with that yarn, but it ended up being a tent on me then. You can imagine what it would look like on me now. So I unraveled it and soaked and stretched the yarn so it so all the crinkles went out. I'm not sure you call it crinkles, kinks. I think it's kinks. And I wasn't sure what to do with it. But then I remembered the Bits and Bobs Cowl by Kay Jones from the Bakery Bears, and I decided I had one skein left of some really old 100% alpaca that I used to have in my shop. I had one undyed skein left, so I held that with the yarn from the Knitting Swede, and I knit myself this. And this, the numbers are from the Bits and Bob Cowl. I cast on the number of stitches in that pattern, but I ended up doing 1 color brioche in the round instead of because brioche, I figured brioche was a quicker stitch to knit for me than the stitch in the Bits and Bob Cowl, so that's what I ended up doing. This hasn't been blocked, and as you can see it pulls to one side, but that doesn't show as well when I'm wearing it. Besides, I haven't blocked it yet, so hopefully that will do something about that. So that's my cowl. It could have been longer, but I weighed the skein of alpaca, and when I had 80 grams left, I switched colors to the next color, and I still have alpaca left after finishing the cowl. I still have yarn left from all the colors as well. So I'm not sure what to do with the rest of it, but it's sock yarn. So I could knit myself a pair of stripy socks, I guess. Or I could just put it in a crochet blanket. But that's my cowl. And as I said, I took the numbers from the Bits and Bob's cowl by Kay Jones of the Bakery Bears, but I did brioche in the round instead of her pattern. And the last FO I'm showing you is this. It's the West Village skirt by Selma in Incesulu. And I knit this one in, I think it's Drops Lima. And can't wait to use this one because I love my stripy one that I also made. The only thing that's missing on this one is the elastic in the waist, but I went to my local yarn store the other day and got some, so I'm going to put the elastic in the waist this weekend so I can start wearing it. I love this color. I wasn't planning properly, so I'm not sure I have any tops that go with this color, but we'll see what I come up with. I think grey would work with this color. So those are my finished objects. And then let's go to whips. I only have 2 active whips. I have a lot of hibernating whips, but I have turned a new leaf. I'm trying to work at only 2 or maximum 3 whips at a time. I feel I finish them faster that way. And I only have 1 active sweater whip on the needles, but I have 2 sweaters that are languishing. One of them being the Sea Glass Tee that I was planning on doing long sleeved. But I have decided to do as the pattern suggests and make it short sleeved. So I actually get to finish it soon. I'm not sure I can use it as a t-shirt in summer because the pattern in the Sea Glass Tee makes it double, so it's going to be really warm. So I might just use it as sort of a vest over a long sleeve t-shirt. And then I actually get that off the needles, and I really want to do that. So I might add that to my rotation as an active whip. And the other sweater that's on the needles is a cotton wool blend, I seem to remember. So it's sort of a spring-summer garment. So I'm going to pick that up when we're getting closer to spring. So I have that for spring and summer. And then we have my whips. If you saw the yarn stash tour on Bente's Bag of Holding, you saw me discover this yarn. It's Countess Ablaze Blind Date, and it's a DK, sparkle DK. And I said on that episode, this is going to be socks, and I've started the socks. And this is the Choose Your House socks by Kay Jones of the Bakery Bears. It's from her Swish and Flick collection. And it's got this simple textured pattern. And I think textured patterns always look really good with variegated yarns because they break up any tendencies to pooling or flashing. But this yarn doesn't pool or flash a lot anyway. So these are for myself. And this was supposed to be my TV knitting, but we're binge watching campaign 2 of Critical Role at the moment, and I don't have to watch the TV all the time when I watch that because they're all sitting around the table and the action is in here, so I don't have to watch them. So that means I can do a bit of more complicated knitting. Not that I am doing that, but so my TV knitting is sort of forgotten. And the other whip I'm working on turned out to be a really quick knit. And it's in this bag from, it's in this bag, 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 it's the Tangled Skein CA, and it's a custom order that Sue made me. And I really loved both of these fabrics, but she didn't have enough of any of them to make an entire bag, so I told her why not use a different fabric on each side. And she even did the handles different. Love this bag. This size is really, really good for sweaters. And this is is On the Beach by Isabel Kraemer. I think this has to be one of my favorite sweater patterns, because I really love the fit of them. And the yarn I'm using on this is a yarn that's called Colorina. Again, it's from Hobby. It's a wool acrylic blend that's color changing. And I'm doing a lot of yarn management on this one, because when I start a new ball, I have to wind off some yarn to get in the right place, so the stripes look the same all the way down. On the sleeves, of course, the stripes will be wider. This was the wrong sleeve. I'm going to show you this sleeve. Of course, the stripes will be wider because of the shorter circumference. But as long as both sleeves look the same, I don't mind. And I did the I-cord bind off at the bottom, and as you can see, it's really rolling up. Hopefully that will improve when I soak it. And I've started the first sleeve. And this is a quick knit, as I said. It's 4.5mm needles. And the I-cord bind off around the neck is optional, but I think I'm going to do it because the V-neck looks good as it is, but the back of the neck doesn't. So I'm going to do an I-cord bind off around the neck. Her bind off is just pick up all the stitches, knit and pick up all the stitches, and then bind off the next round. I think I'm going to do an I-cord bind off on this. I'll try the method with picking up, knitting and binding off on the back of the neck, because that's not a lot of work, and if I only can straighten out the neck by doing that, I might not do anything to the V-neck itself. So that's the thing I'm going to try out as soon as I finish this. And as I said, that turned out to be a really quick knit, and as soon as that one's finished, I think I'm going to start my next stripes. I have picked out the yarn, as I said, but I don't think I'm going to show you the yarn before I start knitting the sweater. Two of the yarns I'm using are from Stash, actually from the same dyer it turned out. And I was missing one color, and then I realized one of my own colors would work perfectly. So it's not all V-Stash, but two out of three. So that will be in the next episode, I guess, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to cast on that sweater during the next 2 weeks, maybe this weekend, because I think the sleeves on the beach are going to go by really, really quickly. Oh, just had to have a drink. It's water, by the way. When I said I needed a drink, you could have misunderstood that, but it's about 1:30 p.m, so it's a bit early to start drinking. And that's what I have for knitting. I know this is actually going to be a sort of a short episode, because not a lot exciting things have happened. The last episode of Bente's Bag of Holding I did as a premiere, and that was really fun because I got to talk to people when I publish it, so I'm going to start doing that at least to my podcast episodes, so I can talk to people when I put them up. So I can tell you already that from now on most of my podcast episodes will be published at 8 p.m. Central European Standard Time every other Friday. Just so you know, as premieres. And as I said, that was it for knitting. And then I only have shameless self-promotion, unless I go into an epilogue again. I haven't got any yarn in the mail. I'm waiting for some yarn for a Fair Isle sweater, and again I'm going to show you the yarn and everything in my next episode. If I don't do a Bentley's Bag of Holding episode about the sweater when I get the yarn, but I don't think so. That wouldn't be that interesting. So I'm going to show you the yarn I dyed for the shop update this time. And we'll start with this. For my returning viewers, you know what this is. This is my Grab Your Drank sock set. And these will be back in stock Sunday at 8 p.m. Central European Standard Time. So that's my Grab Your Drank sock sets. I also have Harvest Moon on 100% merino. And I only dyed up 2 skeins, rather selfishly, because I needed one for my sweater. So there's actually only going to be 1 skein in the shop on Sunday. But of course, if you want a sweater quantity of this, I dye up a sweater quantity for you. I do custom orders, and because I'm a small batch dyer, I haven't got the room or the finances, I haven't got the storage space or the finances to have sweater quantities lying around of all my colorways. I have tried dyeing up sweater quantities of some colorways, and they don't sell, so I apparently don't know what colors will be popular for sweaters. So I keep saying this: if you see a colorway in my shop that you would love to have a sweater in, let me know and I'll do a custom order for you. Send me a message on Etsy or maybe message me on Instagram. So that's my Harvest Moon. And it's, as I said, going into the shop on 100% merino fingering. And I have dyed up a couple of skeins of Gatineau Girl on Zebra. And this is named for my good friend Crafting7, Sue. She lives in Gatineau, and these are some of her favorite colors. So this is going into the shop on Sunday at 8 p.m. And then I have dyed up some Monet on Surrey Silk Cloud. It's different shades of blue with some really soft pink flecks in it. And I have dyed up Luffoot Vegan. This color used to be called Luffoot Mountains, but I decided, since I'm using Norwegian names for some of my colorways, this is now going to be called Luffoot Vegan, because that's the Norwegian name for them. It's a grey with slight shades of brown and darker grey and green speckles, and not only speckles but sort of variegated. And I decided to celebrate the fact that my channel now is split into 2 different things: Bentley's Bag of Holding and Epilogue Lady. So I decided to dye up 2 colorways called Epilogue Lady and Bentley's Bag of Holding. And first we're going to look at Epilogue Lady. And the camera is lying a bit because this is a pink. So pink and gold, 2 of my favorite colors. And So this is Epilogue Lady. And then we have, I forgot to tell you, that's on Pauldale sock. And then I have dyed up Bente's Bag of Holding on 3 different bases. On Merino sock, on 100% worsted weight, and on Surrey Silk Cloud. And again, this would probably make a really fun sweater, so just let me know and I'll dye up a sweater quantity. And then I only have one thing left to show you. I dyed some self-striping. And this is Glamrock as self-striping. It's a medium grey with bands of speckled in neon colors. And mostly pink. But that's because it's me. And this, I still can't seem to get the gobstopper balls to look proper. But I only make one of these for each of my self-striping colorways, just for the pictures. When you buy these, they come as skeins, just so you know. I only make one of these for the pictures. That's going into the shop. And this ball actually is for me. I'm going to knit myself a pair of socks with this ball. And that's it. And it turns out that this episode was rather short. Not a lot more to talk about. I'm doing some stitch markers at the moment, so I might add some stitch markers to Sunday's update. We'll see. I'm thinking of maybe doing the stitch marker updates separately, because it's rather time consuming taking pictures of all the stitch markers. I'm going to concentrate on stitch markers in the beginning of next week, instead of dyeing yarn. So we'll see what I come up with. And I also realized the other day that January 14th, I think it was, 2019, I opened my shop and had my first sale. Of course, Sue. She bought the very first skein from my Etsy shop. So it's been 3 years. And who knew I would still be doing this 3 years later. I gave myself 3 years when I started. If I didn't make money after 3 years, I would think of something else to do. Still not making money, not giving up yet. It's sort of a break-even game. And it has been for the 3 years I've had the shop open. But I'm not giving up as yet. Mostly because I don't think I would last long in a day job out in the world, both for my mental health and my physical health. I thrive when I'm my own boss, and I'm an understanding boss. So if I have an off day, a bad day, I can take the day off and just sit on the couch knitting. Sorry about that. I had somebody at the door. Well, I was almost finished anyway, I think. And I think I've done my epilogue as well. That was about the shop being 3 years old. That was my epilogue. So that means I haven't got anything more for this episode, so it's going to be a short one this time. And as I said, if you haven't seen my episodes of Bente's Bag of Holding, they are on a different playlist on my channel. Feel free to go ahead and watch them. I put up a tour of my yarn stash, and I put up a sweater parade for 2021 and the introductory episode. And that's it. I'm going to stop recording now so hubby can come out of the bedroom, and I'll see you in my next episode of Bente's Bag of Holding. Not sure what that's going to contain, but that's the charm of Bente's of a bag of holding. You never know what you're going to get. So that's it. I'll see you, and I hope you have a really nice weekend.